Hello, my name is Priest. I am your host of Exodus. This is a podcast of helping you to be free and clear and a new creation, I should say. Yes, to be new, a new inspired you, free and clear of drugs and or anything else. So today, I'm going to be talking about crystal meth and my experience with crystal meth, what I know about crystal meth and what it does. I would like to call this title Crystal Clear. The name of this title is called Crystal Clear. And I do want to be crystal clear. First, I want to tell you, like I said, with my experience that I had on a run with meth. While I was on this run, I was tweaking and doing different things. A run is like a binge where you're up days running with no sleep. You're on a run, no food, no sleep. Tweaking is a repetition of the same single activity or getting hung up on something. I didn't really tweak ever on crystal meth, but I did tweak many times on crack. Like an example of tweaking would be I would be where I was at looking on the floor for hours for a crumb or a piece of crack that my mind thought I dropped, I never dropped anything. I mean, I would literally clean up the rug piece by piece. Anything that was white, I'm picking it up, touching it, and or throwing it in the pipe. I must have tried to smoke a lot of stuff. So as you're getting hung up on these long runs and these binges, they can lead to psychotic mental disorder and can lead to violent behavior and all these different things. So I say this because on one of my runs that I'm sharing with you, I did not think it was humanly possible for anyone to be up as long as I was up during this run, binge, whatever you want to call it, where you're up for days chasing. Well, you're not like crack, you're not chasing the drug. You're just up doing whatever, tweaking, I guess. I was up, this is more than 20 years ago, 25 years ago, but I do know at the time, it was going on 2 weeks. I would say it was roughly around 10 or more days. I did not think it was humanly possible for any person to be up that long. I've heard stories of it and just didn't resonate. It just didn't penetrate. It just didn't seem like reality until I went on a run of my own for 10 days. And now the psychotic behavior part of this is so extreme. It is a hallucinogenic drug, but not hallucinating like I would heard of situations of people on acid, LSD, seeing pink elephants. And my hallucination was not that way. I perceived, or I thought I saw, the girl I was with at the time, mother of one of my children. I thought I seen her across the street, walking down the street with another man, arm in arm, hugged up, snuggy, all lovey-dovey. This was in my mind. This was a drug. This was not true. This was a hallucination. That's how we can hallucinate. I had another friend that did the same thing, high off of so many tabs of mescaline at the time, years and years ago when this was the thing. He thought he saw his girlfriend the same thing, only his situation was a little different. His girlfriend was pregnant with his baby. He went out, stabbed her, I don't know how many times, ended up killing the baby, ended up going to jail. Actually, when I was in jail and I seen him and I asked him if we could bail him out, would he get out and do whatever, and he felt, he had to stay for what he did. But this is what this drug can do. Any hallucinogenic drug. This is a hallucinogenic drug. This is when you've been up for days, you can hallucinate. You can see things that are not real. It doesn't have to be pink elephants. It can be real images of real stuff that seems so real, but it's in your mind. It's in your mind, Use of high doses of amphetamines decreases the brain content of the neurotransmitter serotonin, which persists for months even after the drug use is stopped. This can damage the central nervous system. This can damage your brain. This can damage neurons that release the transmitters, and they can cause brain cells to be damaged. It can cause increased heart rate. It can cause high blood pressure, a history of heart attack. These are amphetamines. Now, this is just not crystal meth. These are amphetamines in general, and it can cause hypertension and hyperactive activity, and this drug is highly addictive. Now, just because it's not a physical addiction, psychological addiction is still the same. And I may be wrong. I never was physically addicted to it. Maybe some people can be physically addicted to it. I don't know, but it's not listed as a go through withdrawal symptoms physically of needing it, like food and or other things. Now, one of the dangers of this drug is the mom and pop meth labs. People making their own meth with the shake and bake method. These shake and bake methods at home. Actually, it's not just at home. People can do it in the car. I should say these home cooks and the one pot no cook process, of using over-the-counter drugs like things with amphetamines in it, things with, ephedrines in it, and these different things that now, because people are making so much crystal meth now, you have to show ID when you buy these cough medicines and these certain things that have this ingredient in it that these mom and pop cooks or these, shake and bake cooks use, because these have anything from over-the-counter drugs to household products and cleaning chemicals and any chemicals that they can possibly find on the internet. Recipes, these recipes that these people get can cause so much damage to you that it's beyond belief. It's beyond belief what is in these things, and it's beyond belief what these things can do to you. Later on, I'll talk about meth mouth and certain various things. Then, like I said, they can set up these shops anywhere. These meth labs can be anywhere. Your neighbor could be setting up a meth lab. I hear of a lot of apartments. You hear big booms, and later on in the news, you hear of explosion. Come to find out that these are these meth labs, because even though they don't cook, when you're mixing certain chemicals together, it can be highly explosive if you don't know what you're doing. So even if you get these online internet recipes, you still need to be careful. I would just not do it. Let chemists be chemists, and stay away from trying to be a street chemist. Okay, this drug has so much in it. Like I said, it's so bad for you. I'm going to give you just a few of the things. Sodium hydroxide, ammonia, acetone, acid, and cyanide gas, which is one of the explosives that it creates when you're making it. The cyanide gas is actually extremely poisonous if inhaled while they're cooking this. So be known to me, I don't know. They must be wearing gas masks. I don't know what they're doing. They must be in a highly ventilated situation. I'm sure that's all it is. Maybe opening up some windows and letting the gas out. But it is definitely poisonous and extremely dangerous. Now, I must add here that I am not a licensed therapist. I am not a psychiatrist. I am just giving you my opinion. Okay, so that's maybe why these drugs will make you feel invincible. These drugs will make you feel invincible when you're taking them. All the stuff they put in it, you want to feel like a superhero when you're taking them, Maybe because it's incredible the things that are in there, and your body can put that stuff in it without, I don't know, exploding yourself. All the stuff they put in it when they make it, if it can explode, lucky your body don't explode. The withdrawal process takes 30 to 90 days. Withdrawal process from crystal meth. The cravings are intense, and you get to a side of schizophrenic paranoia. The long-term damage can be severe. You get chest pains, cocaine, bugs under your skin. You feel like there's bugs under your skin. They're not there. That's what the drug is creating. Talked about the bugs, cocaine bugs under your skin, feeling like there's bugs, and scratching until you have created sores, lesions, and all kind of things around your skin because you're trying to get this bug out of you that is not there. One of the symptoms caused by this drug is called meth mouth. If you've never seen it, Google it, look at some of the pictures. They're pretty extensive, they're pretty gory, they're pretty bad. I've seen some of the pictures, and I've even known a person, So I've seen some cases where there's actually a hole in the ridge of your mouth on the top from the chemicals that are just burning layers. The acidic, the acids and things in it are burning holes. Now, I do know someone that had a hole in their membranes in their nose from snorting cocaine. They could actually put a tissue through it and do that through their nose from cocaine. And mind you, this stuff in crystal meth is a lot more extreme than cocaine and cocaine use. Don't get me wrong, all drugs are bad. All drugs are bad. Okay, it causes dry mouth, you get sugar cravings, and there is neglect of neural hygiene. The acidic composition of the drug, crystal meth, battery acid and cleaning process and all these different things, they wear down the protective layer of your teeth. They wear this down. Your enamels and things like that. It causes teeth grinding and all these different things. Some of the symptoms of meth mouth are severe. You get tooth decay, gum disease, tooth loss, teeth cracking, fracturing, and decay. And you have lack of pain in your mouth from the lesions and the sores and the various things that this drug causes within your mouth, because you can't drink it, you can't snort it, you can't shoot it, you can eat it. People, back when I was doing it, they would call Mountain Dew liquid crack, because we would put the crystal meth in the Mountain Dew. So that sensation. There's extreme crashing. Now, crashing is when you're coming down. They call it extreme crashing because when you come down after being up 2 weeks, you come down hard. You come down hard. That's what this thing does. After being up 9, 10 days, 2 weeks, and you think you see something that you haven't saw, excessive use, it can cause permanent damage. And some of the causes are meth mouth, dry mouth, sugar cravings, neglect of oral hygiene, the acidic composition of this drug, crystal meth, this drug, the battery acid and the cleaning products and the things that go into this that are made for cleaning your sink, cleaning your stove, cleaning metal and graphite stone counters and refrigerators made of metal, cleaning your floor. These things that are going into that, and that's going into your mouth, okay, creating meth mouth, dry mouth, and all these things that I'm talking about. These things wear down the protective layer of the teeth. It wears it down. Some of the other symptoms are teeth grinding. Symptoms of meth mouth are severe. Tooth decay, gum disease, tooth loss, teeth cracking, teeth fracturing, decay patterns, and lack of pain in the mouth from your lesions, your sores, and anything that's going on that would make you aware that you have symptoms of this drug damaging. You don't feel it because of the drug and the superhuman attributes that it adds to you while you're on it. And there are treatments for meth mouth. I would hope that you would want to get that treated. And I know when you are not using the drug, when you have been free and have abstained from the drug, you will want to. If you don't want to now, you will want to then. There are treatments for meth mouth. If there's anyone out there that has it, one of the treatments is preventative care, tooth extractions, and prosthetic dentistry. Now, if you can't afford these things, I would look to your city, your state, or online to see if there's some kind of organizations that may help you in these areas of getting your mouth fixed and having the proper dental maintenance done. I was not really a crystal meth user. My drug of choice was heroin, and I did use all drugs in between, and I did get caught up on doing crystal meth for a period of time, and I did go on runs, and one time I did glass. I just thought my heart was gonna bust, and stupid me, I'm going to take a shower because I'm used to doing heroin, and if you take a cold shower or sit in a tub of ice, it brings you down. Be known to me, that is just the opposite, and God's loving care saved me, because the cold water was supposed to have put the heart into shock and created more, to intensify more of what I was going through the process, to intensify it. So if I was, my heart was palpitating, it was going too fast and I couldn't slow it down, getting in the shower and shocking it with ice cold water would not help it. I would have gone to get medical treatment, or in my case, take another drug to bring you down, which is a lot of drug users' problems. Is what we do is we'll take another drug to offset another certain drug. My drug of choice was heroin. If I felt that I was ODing or did too much heroin, I'd shoot up some cocaine, and that would come down, and then we were so sick we would do what's called speedballs, mix them together just for the euphoric high and the euphoric pleasure and state. Euphoric means high, the state of that feeling of pleasure, the reward system that the brain creates as euphoric. It's the dopamine release. It's that rush. It's that feeling like a superpower, like King Kong, like a god, like whatever you may. But the problem is, I want to get back on the problem is we try to self-medicate ourselves with another drug to fix the problem of another drug. Or we mix these drugs to feel better. And when we're doing this, we're self-medicating. We're playing Russian roulette. Russian roulette is when you take a gun, a 6-shooter, you put one bullet, you spin the chamber and you shoot. Some pass the gun to someone else, they spin the chamber and shoot. It's all fun and games until someone catches the bullet, and then you see their brains get blown out in front of you. Doing drugs, mixing drugs, and self-medicating and over-medicating when you do have a prescription, things of that nature, it's Russian roulette. Follow your doctor's orders on the bottle. It's prescribed per prescription for a reason. They've tested these drugs on lab rats, people, thousands of experiments that tell you to do. If it says take it once every 8 hours, take it once every 8 hours. It's when we start abusing it is when the problems come, as in any drug. When you abuse it is when you go above and beyond the prescribed dose. And if it's illegal, illicit drugs, and you're doing more, it's called an overdose. And when we do more and more for the pleasure, because your mind, your brain, that euphoric state, your brain can only get so high. That plateau, you cannot go beyond that, but we don't know that because we try to get higher and higher and higher. And the transmitters and receptors in your brain can only receive so much dopamine before the synapses where it's trapped in, the receptor shuts off and everything is just bouncing around in the middle of what is called a synapses. I don't want to get too deep on these terms, but I must tell you that I am not a licensed therapist. I am only giving you my opinion, and I'm only giving you my experience of drug use. And I hope these and the episodes to come are helpful and helping you in some way. If it can trigger one thing to help you to get to stop. As soon as I post my website, homepage, landing page, things of that nature, I will have more resources and more guidelines of how you can receive help. As for me, I went to a Christian ministry called Teen Challenge. They have other ones called Victory Outreach. They have places where you go and you stay for a year, which I don't care what, if it's Christian ministry or not, it does take at least 1 year for you to fully recover from the cravings, the withdrawals, the psychological addiction, the psychotic behavior, and if you have dependence, the physical addictions. A lot of people think a 30-day rehab or 60-day or 90-day is sufficient. Some cases it is, but in a lot of extreme cases of extreme addictions and dependencies, you will need probably at least 1 year away from that environment, away from that drug, away from those people that use. And if you're living in that kind of neighborhood and or culture, which is another trigger, away from that place. So a lot of factors going with becoming free from drugs, becoming a new creation, becoming new and doing new. You have to get rid of the old, be transformed by your mind, be transformed in your mind, do not conform to that old stuff, and be renewed. Be renewed, be renewed. And as for with me, I couldn't do any of this on my own. I had to be renewed by God, only God, and with God. So stay tuned on more stuff on how to help yourself and how to, most importantly, let God help you as you help yourself. Love you people. We'll talk to you soon. Once again, this is Priest. This is the podcast or ministry of Exodus. And the name Exodus means exiting from bondage, addictions, and sin. So, exit us, we exit us. You have to exit your behaviors, exit your ways of thinking, your ways of doing. As we exit us, we exit everything else that is in us that is not good. All right, God bless. Tune into my next Godcast. I love you people, and stay strong.